Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Panda Story. Today, we continue part 2 of our previous tale. Kim Yun Seong turned around, his icy gaze sweeping over the crowd, boldly declaring, "From now on, anyone who dares to lay a hand on Kim Seok-woo, prepare for the consequences." He delivered a fierce kick to Park Jin-woo's chin, growling, "If I catch you touching him again, I will hunt you down and show no mercy." Kim Yun Seong risked everything to save his dear friend from the clutches of thugs, urging him to keep a safe distance to avoid getting ensnared in trouble. Yet, Kim Seok-woo clutched his hand tightly, his gaze unwavering. "No matter what happens today, I will not abandon you. I will stand by you as always." Kim Yun Seong realized that all his words of persuasion were futile, forcing him to speak plainly. "Do you think I stumbled into this fight by chance? The truth is, I provoked them deliberately. They deserve this reckoning, and this is merely the beginning. I will obliterate each of those thugs, no matter what I have to sacrifice. I will not retreat. I cannot reveal the truth to you now, but remember, I am on a path of vengeance. If you choose to remain my friend, days like today will not be the last. You are not strong enough to contend with someone like that. You'd best stay out of my affairs. Our relationship ends here, because you won't be able to withstand it." At that moment, Shin Young-min pondered how to spend his money. Just by bullying a few students, he could rake in hundreds of millions. Suddenly, the back door of the classroom was kicked open. Kim Yun Seong entered, his fierce eyes locked onto Shin Young-min as he questioned, "Are you the brat named Shin Young-min?" Upon hearing someone dare challenge him, he immediately erupted in fury. But Kim Yun Seong felt no need for further words. He delivered a straight kick to Shin Young-min. He quickly raised his hands to block. "Who the hell are you? Why do you attack without even introducing yourself?" Kim Yun Seong remained silent, his fist lunging forward. Shin Young-min shouted in anger, "Who are you?" He realized that this one seemed to have some martial arts training, but his strikes lacked power and were quite predictable. Yet, in an instant, a powerful punch struck his abdomen. Shin Young-min immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. "You ask me who I am? I am Kim Yun Seong, the one you seek." Seeing the kid finally speak, Shin Young-min pressed for answers as to why he was here. But Kim Yun Seong chose not to elaborate, merely grabbing a chair and swinging it down. Shin Young-min thought this guy must be insane to dare use a chair against him. Kim Yun Seong was, of course, doing this intentionally. He had to maintain the psychological advantage. Any moment of leniency could lead to defeat. Ultimately, Shin Young-min was forced to hold his head high and retaliate. He seized Kim Yun Seong's hand. "Today, you will not leave this classroom alive." Kim Yun Seong raised his hands in defense, only to find his opponent mirroring his movements, suddenly shifting the direction of his attack. "Do you think you're the only one who knows how to feint?" Kim Yun Seong gritted his teeth against the pain, reminding himself to be resilient. From the very beginning, he understood that he could not be a match for Shin Young-min. This time, even if he risked plunging into battle, he had no intention of backing down. He was determined to seize this opportunity to wager everything. Kim Yun Seong waited for the perfect moment, wrapping his arms tightly around Shin Young-min before charging upward. Both he and Shin Young-min were pushed out of the window. This classroom was located on the highest floor of the building. If they fell, they would surely pay with their lives or suffer severe injuries. Fortunately, Shin Young-min managed to cling tightly to the edge of the window. At that moment, he was utterly terrified. Kim Yun Seong appeared as a madman. "Today, either you will die, or I will die." Some students standing nearby hurriedly shouted, "Hurry, pull that crazy guy back." Although Shin Young-min had narrowly escaped death, his heart was filled with fear towards Kim Yun Seong, especially when Kim Yun Seong left behind terrifying threats. "Do you think this is over? The moment you dared to lay hands on my friend, your fate was sealed to be taken down by me. So, brace yourself. When the opportunity arises, I will slam a chair into the back of your head. I will make sure you never forget this. That is the price to pay for provoking me." The students around anxiously asked Shin Young-min if he was hurt. At that moment, Shin Young-min was still puzzled. "Why are you asking me this? Can't you see that I just got hit?" A classmate hurriedly apologized, "Although I saw it." "Do you really not need to go to the hospital?" When Kim Yun Seong defeated Park Jin-woo in the bathroom, a student immediately reported the incident to the homeroom teacher. He had originally thought the situation would be difficult to handle since the principal had declared he didn't want to turn the school into a nationally renowned institution. But upon entering the office, the principal stated that there was no need to investigate the matter any further. It turned out that the eldest son of Myeongjin Corporation, Go Chong-bin, had agreed to sponsor the school. However, The condition was that during Kim Yun Seong's time here, regardless of how big the incident was, they had to find a way to cover it up. Thus, everything this time could be considered as if it had never happened. I will not allow you to suffer losses. The school's achievements and awards will be generously granted to you. Furthermore, recently Myeongjin Corporation has launched several new projects, and South Thwang has quietly reserved over 10 apartments for them. Housing prices are soaring. Should the homeroom teacher prepare a few apartments for you? The way you have protected those students in the past, do the same now. Just remember, from now on, the only person we protect is Kim Yun Seong. The homeroom teacher immediately understood the implications of his words. Instantly, he declared that he would handle everything flawlessly. Seeing the homeroom teacher's enthusiasm, the principal suggested that from now on, he should call him Big Brother. The homeroom teacher, naturally, was overjoyed, and the two conniving individuals shook hands. Their goal was crystal clear: to ensure Kim Yun Seong graduated smoothly. Just as the news of Kim Yun Seong's misfortune reached them, when both were dreaming of a brilliant future, suddenly, someone burst in, loudly announcing that Kim Yun Seong had been attacked. A wave of fury surged within them. Who dared commit such an audacious act? Shin Young-min felt a tempest brewing in his heart. Clearly, Kim Yun Seong had initiated the attack on me, yet now he transformed into the victim. However, the principal and the homeroom teacher secretly colluded, refusing to listen to his explanations. This filled Shin Young-min with overwhelming rage. He had nearly brought me down, and many classmates could attest to this truth. The homeroom teacher patted his shoulder, arrogantly stating, "Even if you have witnesses, the question remains. Who will believe their words? Kim Yun Seong is the top student in the school. Do you think everyone will side with you?" Shin Young-min could no longer contain himself and cursed under his breath. The homeroom teacher gripped his collar tightly. "Do you dare raise your voice in front of me? If you refuse to accept your faults and continue this attitude, be prepared for an even harsher punishment." This feeling was both familiar and novel, as if a horde of scoundrels stood before him. Ultimately, he realized that taking action against Kim Yun Seong was not a trivial matter. With no other choice, he could only bow his head in apology. If Shin Young-min refused to submit, he would have to resort to money to hire an intermediary for intervention. Jang Tae-ju, acting as the intermediary, primarily took on the responsibility of recruiting henchmen for the underworld within the school. Should the henchmen fail, he would bear the consequences. The underworld never accepted defeat. This approach of resolving issues through the abuse of power mirrored their usual tactics. All students who laid hands on the target were expelled. The principal and teachers also tried to protect him. Thus, Jang Tae-ju sought out the principal personally. "I heard that 4 students from the school were just admitted to the emergency room and expelled. Yet Kim Yun Seong, the instigator, received only a light punishment." Given the severity of this incident, it was evident that an investigation was warranted. "Are you showing special favoritism toward Kim Yun Seong? If so, I will not let this go unpunished." Before his threat, the principal showed no sign of fear. "We considered the future of the students, which is why we did not involve the police. Furthermore, we have already informed the police about this incident, so you may do as you wish." Jang Tae-ju asserted, "I am a man of my word." The principal's expression remained unchanged, as if utterly unshaken. "Threats like yours carry no weight." Subsequently, Jang Tae-ju arrived at the police station, only to receive the response that Kim Yun Seong acted entirely in self-defense. Enraged, Jang Tae-ju threatened to expose the matter to the public. "You should understand just how powerful social media can be." Yet, this police officer showed no fear. Unlike the principal, this was Kim Hai. "Even if you wish to expose the truth, people will only need a few days off to forget all about it." Now, Jang Tae-ju found himself with no other options. He never expected this place to be so corrupt. The underworld figure who had commissioned him intended to use money for bribery. Kim Yun Seong. Yet they found their efforts utterly futile. All officials openly protected Kim Yun Seong. If he could not find another method, this mission was bound to fail. And the underworld would never easily forgive a failure. His life would be completely erased. Thus, he had piled all the pressure onto Shin Young-min. "Our goal is not to defeat Kim Yun Seong, but to cause his performance to decline. I do not care how you achieve this. Just ensure his performance drops to complete the mission. If you give up or fail, we will not only hunt down Kim Yun Seong but also make you pay dearly." It was for this reason that Min An had agreed to support him. Yet now she had become a turtle withdrawing into its shell. He had taken all the blame upon himself. Just as he was bewildered, unsure of what to do next, someone suddenly struck him from behind. A familiar voice echoed, I told you to be careful of Shin Young minimum. He turned to retaliate, but a single remark from Kim Yun Seong made him halt in his tracks. Is that contract more important than your life? I heard the commissioner has met with the principal, so I am now well aware of your situation. But let me remind you, the eldest son of the Myeongjin group is my protector. From the very beginning, I never intended to focus solely on you for retribution. You have acknowledged that you have angered me. Do not think that expulsion will resolve this issue. I will do my utmost to turn this into a criminal case. Giving you a record, when you are released from prison, someone from the Myeongjin group will come for you. They will use every means necessary to ensure you cannot survive in Kim High. If you wish to exist as a human being, your only option is to leave Kim High. But no matter where you go, I will not let you escape. My only goal is singular. Anyone who dares to touch me will pay the price. If you still wish to survive as a human among Kim High, then grit your teeth, endure, and learn from those you have once defeated. The next day, his weak yet menacing voice echoed throughout the school. Whispers and murmurs swept through the room, certain that Kim Yun Seong had struck after class. How else could he have fallen so woefully? In truth, if Shin Young Min truly wished to act, he could have easily vanquished Kim Yun Seong. Yet, the might of his own faction, the Myeongjin group, loomed too large. Here, their power stretched like an endless sky, untouchable by any. But allowing Kim Yun Seong to roam freely would spell ruin for Kim High. Better to face expulsion than wear the stain of disgrace. His voice grew frantic as he slammed his head against the table, unable to accept the humiliation of enduring such a fate for mere coin. He silently prayed for Kim Yun Seong to falter, to see his grades plummet. Just a slight dip would grant him precious time. Yet, Kim Yun Seong was also poised for the midterm exams. As I achieve exceptional results, all the pent-up fury will erupt like a raging tempest. Survival was imperative at all costs. The resolute voice of Kim High rang out, affirming his mission's completion. Moreover, with my grades remaining intact, the wrath of my benefactor was mounting. When the entire group ignites in fury, I will seize what I so desperately crave, even if it means exploiting the principal and the Myeongjin group in a somewhat despicable manner. As long as the results are favorable, nothing else matters. In the future, none shall be moved by this wall of violence. The fortress built from fear made Kim Yun Seong feel safer than ever before. Simultaneously, he relentlessly honed his combat skills. Jung Do-chul regarded his student with a satisfied gaze. Were it not for the financial transaction, he would have certainly encouraged him to pursue professional competition. Just as Kim Yun Seong finished his training and was about to leave, a familiar figure suddenly appeared at the door. He introduced himself. I am Kim Tu-wei, the one who scheduled a consultation for martial arts training. Kim Yun Seong's close friend had also arrived at the training facility to practice alongside him. To her astonishment, upon learning he had brazenly provoked Shin Young Min, they nearly toppled from the upper floor. She realized that Kim Yun Seong was sending a warning to the entire school. Anyone who dared to touch those close to him would face dire consequences. Kim Shi-yu could not fathom why he had grown so cold. He had once vowed to provide a better life for his grandmother. But now, his greatest ambition had transformed into the annihilation of all who had mocked him. Yet, having made such a decision, how could he abandon his closest friend? Thus, Kim Shi-yu also ventured to Jung Do-chul's training facility. Kim Yun Seong urged the principal not to accept him. He could assist with her tuition fees. Jung Do-chul was well aware of their bond. Just when Kim Yun Seong needed a friend to help him navigate through the chaos, he was taken aback to discover that Kim Shi-yu's true aim was to aid Kim Yun Seong in defeating the gang. Jung Do-chul felt a throbbing headache. Do you think this is a place to advise others to use violence to solve their problems? Kim Shi-yu tore off the bandage, revealing the wound on his face. I was beaten when I resisted the gang. The violence that occurs in schools is not as simple as you think. If Yun Seong hadn't helped me that day, perhaps I would be lying cold on the bathroom floor, uncertain of life or death. Yun Seong took on all the risks to protect me. He couldn't abandon a friend like that. Yun Seong must have his own reasons for coming here to train. This is all I have. If it's not enough, I'll find a part-time job to repay. Jung Do-chul slammed the table in anger. He couldn't understand why these young students had to walk such a desperate path. But the truth was, their circumstances were perilous. Even the closest friends were caught in the maelstrom of violence. He wasn't sure if advising them to abandon violence was the right decision. Ultimately, after a fierce inner battle, Jung Do-chul relented. Come to the gym tomorrow. But if you can't keep up with the training, I will throw you out. Just as Kim Shi-yu stepped out of the room, A pair of gloves flew straight at him. Mr. Kim, looking at your face, the principal may have agreed, but I do not. Therefore, you must prove yourself. Even if you fall into the abyss like I did, you need the determination to rise. I want to see how long you can maintain this friendship. Your involvement in this could lead to sudden attacks, or you might even face a life sentence. In the end, your life will be hollow. From now on, I will no longer consider you a friend. However, Kim Shi-yu merely smiled gently. He understood that Kim Yun Seong wanted to use strength to make him give up. But there was one thing that Yun Seong might have forgotten. He was once a professional athlete. If he lacked confidence in his abilities, he would not have stood up in the first place. If it were just a fight, the gang would have been defeated long ago. But now, Kim Yun Seong, under Jung Do-chul's training, had become exceptionally skilled. He seized the opportunity, pinning Kim Shi-yu to the ground, mercilessly throwing punches. He yelled, "Give up!" But Kim Shi-yu resolutely replied, "I will never give up." The punches from Kim Yun Seong grew stronger. He wanted to break Kim Shi-yu's will. Kim Shi-yu no longer resisted, only letting out continuous laughter. Kim Yun Seong eventually felt helpless. Why do you have to go this far? As friends, you've done enough. In his mind, an indelible memory lingered. When he was young, Kim Yun Seong often endured brutal beatings from the gang. At that time, his parents were completely indifferent. In that dark moment, Kim Shi-yu appeared like a brilliant light in the darkness, igniting hope for Kim Yun Seong. This is my life. I have the right to decide my own fate. Just then, Jung Do-chul appeared, addressing the two. Do you still wish to give up these battles to become athletes? I will bet everything to help you shine at the pinnacle of the stage. Thus, he could not allow Kim Shi-yu to suffer because of him. Kim Shi-yu said to him, "You ask why I must go this far. But clearly, none of this is your fault. As your friend, I cannot just stand by and watch. This is my life, and I have the right to decide." At that moment, Jung Do-chul stepped forward, confidently speaking to the two. "Are you ready to give up the fight and want to conquer the heights? I will bet everything to elevate you to glory." While Kim Yun Seong was struggling with his brothers, Jung Do-chul suddenly had the idea to invite them to participate in a professional tournament. He could not understand why these two brothers were being bullied at school when their strength was not to be underestimated. Kim Heen possessed impressively powerful kicks. He always knew how to control the distance perfectly, while Kim Yun Seong possessed exceptional intelligence. He had the ability to anticipate which situations would benefit him even before others. Kim Heen was also extremely sharp, never missing any openings of his opponents. Initially, Jung Do-chul had no intention of proposing this, but their talent was so outstanding that it could not be overlooked. He advised Kim Yun Seong to abandon his studies to follow him in focused training. For one day, they would surely stand at the pinnacle of martial arts. But Kim Yun Seong's reaction was different. He had no interest in fighting. Each match caused him pain. Yet, due to the goals he had set, he felt compelled to do so. If he insisted on me participating in the professional tournament, then we would definitely cancel the agreement. This is enough. Please do not stand in my way. After Kim Yun Seong stepped out, Kim Thach Ngu immediately followed. He was determined to fight alongside Yun Seong. No matter what happened, he would have no regrets. Yun Seong laid out 3 conditions. First, you must train with me every day. Second, if you encounter an unwinnable match or a legal issue, you must not intervene. Third, the Myeongjin Corporation will provide you with a monthly living allowance. Don't ask why, just accept it. Moreover, you must study diligently. If one day we manage to escape this hellish reality, I hope you will have a better life than others. A few weeks later, the midterm exam of the second semester officially begins. If you do not achieve good results in this exam, Kim Yun Seong's plan will completely collapse. Even if you don't need to take revenge through high scores, gathering evidence is enough to expose the existence of Moon Seo. Yet, Yun Seong's goal is to utterly crush them. Moon Seo has always taken pride in completing tasks without ever failing. Thus he seeks to trample upon their self-esteem, becoming a thorn in the side of those arrogant fools. Kim Yun Seong, despite having been a mere shell of a person for 10 long years. However, after this rebirth, the memories of his school days remain as vivid as ever. He recalls every correct answer with perfect clarity. Therefore, when the exam concludes, while his classmates compare answers, Kim Yun Seong awaits the results with calm composure. In that moment, Bong Hai, the class's popular girl, unexpectedly asks him why he isn't checking the answers. Bong Hai is not only beautiful but also beloved by everyone. In his previous life, she had confessed her feelings to Kim Yun Seong, but he had rejected her. fearing that love would disrupt his academic performance. Bong Hai offers to help him check the answers, and Kim Yun Seong makes no attempt to stop her. Her reputation holds value in his plan for revenge. All the classmates are drawn in by Bong Hai's surprise. No one could have anticipated that Kim Yun Seong would achieve perfect scores in every subject. The next day, he calls the homeroom teacher to the rooftop. Kim Yun Seong inquires if he has heard of Moon Seo. Now, I will reveal to you what Moon Seo truly is. Take your time to absorb this. After Kim Yun Seong aced the midterm exam, the principal is immediately bombarded by calls from other parents questioning him. They all demand to know if he has shown favoritism towards Kim Yun Seong or if he has secretly enrolled in extra classes. The homeroom teacher confirms. This exam was indeed very difficult. It's impossible for anyone to score perfectly. However, the principal asserts, I have great expectations for him. I can already envision Kim Yun Seong becoming the top student with outstanding achievements at a prestigious university. Our school also has a chance to become one of the renowned national schools. With the backing of the Myeongjin Group and the brilliance of Kim Yun Seong, the dreams I have cherished for years may finally come to fruition. Yet, I also have a troubling premonition that Kim Yun Seong may encounter troubles once again. This would severely tarnish our school's reputation. Therefore, my brother, please help me take care of Kim Yun Seong with utmost diligence. You must ensure he becomes an exemplary student for our school. When your class has the top student in the entire school, consider this reward a small token for you. I hope you can continue your efforts until Kim Yun Seong graduates. After that, I will allow you to become a key leader in our school. The ambitious homeroom teacher immediately responds. Everything is in your hands. Then, Kim Yun Seong calls the homeroom teacher to the rooftop. Secrets about Moon Seo were unveiled, and the homeroom teacher was warned that if anything were to happen to me, he too would not escape the ensuing chaos. The teacher realized the immense power Moon Seo possessed, yet now he was bound to Kim Yun Seong. He inquired, what should I do now? Should I stop Min from putting him in danger? But Kim Yun Seong replied that it was unnecessary. Whether in the past or present, my request remains singular, regardless of my actions. You must remain uninvolved. Just let the adults pretend that nothing is amiss. Then everything will be fine. Therefore, prepare your mind to be steadfast. The homeroom teacher felt the weight of this burden. It seemed that this boy was about to encounter significant trouble. Meanwhile, Shin Young-min was being taught a lasting lesson by those who represented Moon Seo. If you cannot subdue Kim Yun Seong this time, I will not hesitate to take one of your arms. This is the final chance I am giving you. Within Shin Young-min, the flames of vengeance against Kim Yun Seong blazed fiercely. He immediately summoned his subordinates. Plotting his revenge, a bold scheme was proposed, to ambush him after school and bring him down. But if they did that, the Myeongjin Corporation backing Kim Yun Seong would not remain idle. They needed to act within the school, where intervention was impossible, rendering Kim Yun Seong unable to continue his studies. Even if they succeeded, it would hold no real significance. This plan was suggested by the second-class leader. Instead of continuously causing trouble for him, why not confront him together? Everyone knew the principal craved to build a prestigious school, so he surely wouldn't dare handle too many students at once. Upon hearing this, Min immediately felt exhilarated. This idea was truly remarkable. A few days later, Kim Yun Seong suddenly found himself surrounded by a crowd. One of them intentionally bumped into him and shouted, "You punk!" Shortly after, another rushed in, slapping Kim Yun Seong on the head and berating him for being lost. Then they all closed in, creating an atmosphere thick with tension. "You bumped into someone and didn't even say sorry?" Kim Yun Seong said nothing and immediately retaliated with a punch. He had often wondered why no one had come to pick a fight with him. It turned out this scheme had been orchestrated to confront him. He had waited far too long. "You can come at me all you want. Only then will I find meaning in trampling upon your lives." After schooling them, Kim Yun Seong left a statement filled with bravado. "Tell your leader to gather everyone here right now. I'll take you all on by myself." Soon after, the second-class leader arrived with his gang in search of Kim Yun Seong. Kim Yun Seong remarked, "Fighting in class won't benefit you. Let's move to a place where teachers seldom tread. Shall we?" They then made their way together. In the refuse classification area behind the school building, facing a larger group of students, Kim Yun Seong realized he was no match for them. He pointed at the classmates who were watching from above and said, "I believe you all have your pride too. A group of people ganging up on just me will surely become a laughingstock in this school. Or how about you each take turns? Of course. If you're afraid, that's fine too. Kim Yun Seong had successfully ignited their sense of pride. The class leader, standing second in command, stepped forward first. "I can accommodate you. A one-on-one is no problem. But once I strike, I don't need anyone else to intervene." Previously, Kim Yun Seong had employed every trick to defeat the class leader. He used weapons or launched surprise attacks when the opponent was unprepared, leading everyone to believe that Kim Yun Seong was not truly strong. Thus, he needed to change how others perceived him. He aimed to conquer every classmate using only his pure strength, transforming this school into his own kingdom. Therefore, this time, he challenged the class leader to a one-on-one duel to prove his might before everyone's eyes. First, the class leader appeared, the second in command. He confidently declared that he didn't need any support. "I can take you down all by myself." This punch consumed all his strength. He believed his opponent would surely be defeated. Yet, in that critical moment, Kim Yun Seong blocked the attack with his hand. The class leader tightened his fist, saying, "I'll see how you avoid this." Surprisingly, Kim Yun Seong easily dodged the blow. A cunning smile crept onto his lips. Moments later, a powerful punch struck the class leader. Those watching from above, like Park Tran-vu, could hardly breathe. This crazy guy took down the notorious senior with just one punch. "When I lost to him before, it seems it wasn't merely a coincidence." Just as Park Tran-vu resolved never to provoke Kim Yun Seong again, someone gently tapped him on the shoulder from behind. As he turned around, ready to explode in anger, a punch came flying towards him. The newcomer was none other than Kim The-nwin, Kim Yun Seong's close friend. It turned out that not long ago, Kim The-nwin had seen Kim Yun Seong standing alone against the class leader and suggested they charge in together. But Kim Yun Seong had refused. If Kim The-nwin joined, they would have a reason to overpower him with numbers. Thus, he told Kim That-nu, "If you really want to help me, then go find Park Tran-vu for revenge. Show me that I don't have to fight alone." Park Tran-vu angrily retorted, "Don't think that having Kim Yun Seong backing you will save you. So arrogant. Living like this would be better than getting beaten up and transferring schools." But just a moment later, he received a slap across the face. Tru Chan-vu couldn't help but ponder his life. Why can't I fight back against this guy? He could not afford to lose face in front of so many classmates. So he furiously charged at Kim That-vu. However, he was met with a powerful kick to the chin, sending him crashing to the ground. Instantly, Kim That-vu lunged forward, raising his thigh and striking fiercely at Park Gen-vu's face. At that moment, Kim Yun Seong was relentlessly assaulting the bully. The second-year boy had never anticipated that this opponent would be so cunning. He had been preparing for a one-on-one duel for a long time. And now, in front of all the students, he was defeating the entire second-year class. Thus, his position would inevitably be usurped by this challenger. Bae Seong-ho stepped forward and declared, "Stop fighting, I will be your opponent now. To be honest, I truly recognize your strength, but you can't expect to defeat all of us alone." Such utter disdain for others. Kim Yun Seong coldly replied, "I merely wish to show you how little I think of you." Bae Seong-ho, enraged, charged at him to throw a punch. But this time, Kim Yun Seong did not evade. Instead, he retaliated, landing a solid punch to Bae Seong-ho's face. Kim Yun Seong then wore a defiant smile. Moments later, the two clashed fiercely, exchanging blows like a raging storm. Bae Seong-ho could hardly believe this boy dared to stand firm before him. Did he not see the glaring difference in their physiques? A sense of exhaustion began to creep into Bae Seong-ho's body. But if he lost, he would become the laughingstock of the whole school. How long did this boy intend to fight? Kim Yun Seong suddenly delivered a powerful punch to his front teeth. The pain seared through him like fire, causing Bae Seong-ho to gradually lose his sanity. Yet, Kim Yun Seong did not relent. He grabbed his opponent's hair tightly. With a surge of strength, he struck hard at his opponent's face. Seeing Bae Seong-ho crumple to the ground, completely dazed, his followers stood frozen in fear. Reluctant to approach, Kim Yun Seong shouted, "Don't just stand there like statues. Go call Shin Young-min for me." When Shin Young-min learned that the second-year students had all been defeated by Kim Yun Seong, he immediately ordered everything to proceed as planned. This time, with so many injuries inflicted, even the principal could not shield him from the consequences. Promptly, someone dashed to the office to inform the teachers, while others directly called the police. Soon after, the principal received a phone call. The caller was from the Department of Education. Shin Young-min wore a wicked grin. "Let's see how you get out of this one." As Kim Yun Seong triumphed over all the second-year students, Shin Young-min was filled with newfound confidence. He began executing his reporting plan. First, he instructed someone to notify all the teachers, then called the police. A severe incident of violence had occurred at the school. He believed that by amplifying the situation, Kim Yun Seong would undoubtedly find himself ensnared by the law. However, all outcomes surpassed his expectations. After the principal's call with the Department of Education, just a few simple words were enough to cover up the incident. The teachers dismissed the students' accounts as mere lies. The police only issued a warning to them. If they report to the police falsely, they will face punishment. The plan has failed, and Shin Young-min's fury erupted, cursing, "A bunch of useless fools. You dare call yourselves teachers? The police won't even come to verify it. They merely claimed it was a false report. Then I will personally skin that Kim Yun Seong alive." Just then, his phone rang. As soon as he answered, his father's furious screams echoed. "You bastard! Are you planning to lay a hand on Kim Yun Seong? You absolutely cannot touch him, or our family will be destroyed." It turned out that Shin Young-min's father had borrowed a large sum of money at high interest. Go Chong-bin had approached that lending company, declaring that Myeongjin Corporation was launching some small projects and wanted to affiliate their name with the company. Upon hearing about the collaboration opportunity with Myeongjin Corporation, the other party could hardly hide their excitement. Go Chong-bin demanded they hand over Shin Young-min's father's loan contract to him immediately. Now, Shin Young-min was seething with rage, knowing full well that this cunning fox, Kim Yun Seong, was threatening his father. Suddenly, a cold voice came through the phone. "Hello. This is Go Chong-bin speaking. Listen carefully. Your family is about to be sealed, and a massive debt will weigh down on you. Don't even think about giving up your inheritance. The loan sharks will not let you off easily. From now on, your life feels as though it has reached its end. Don't blame me if you find yourself with no way out. Just agree to let Kim Yun Seong beat you up without anyone noticing, and take your punishment. I will let you live." Shin Young-min coldly replied. "Your methods are despicable." Go Chong-bin retorted. "Are you stupid? Fighting without any resolve? Victory belongs to the strong. Remember, if you can talk the talk, you must walk the walk." When his classmates saw Shin Young-min appear, they all awaited a thrilling spectacle. Kim Yun Seong, with a scheming smile, said, "Finally, you've arrived. Why are you just standing there? Come on, hit me." Shin Young-min, feeling threatened, sensed a tempest brewing within him. He charged forward at once but suddenly found Kim Yun Seong standing still like a statue. At the last moment, Shin Young-min managed to pull back his hand, for the words of Go Chong-bin still echoed in his mind. "If you dare leave a mark on Kim Yun Seong's face, you will face the consequences." Kim Yun Seong provoked. "You must have received the call already." Then he lunged forward, landing a powerful punch to Shin Young-min's face. He did say not to lose too obviously. "But I don't want you to be like that. You must kneel and beg me, or wager your entire life, to protect your pride. Use all your strength to fight me." Kim Yun Seong had anticipated that he would certainly choose the latter option. If there weren't many classmates witnessing, he might have restrained himself. But now, under the gaze of all, he couldn't maintain his composure. Shin Young-min is prepared for a life-and-death battle against Kim Yun Seong. However, with experience from numerous amateur martial arts tournaments, Kim Yun Seong easily locates videos of his fights for thorough analysis. He discovers that when Shin Young-min is excited, his facial expressions become apparent, and during counterattacks, he has a habit of using his left hand. Another point is that if his footsteps are heavier than expected, this indicates that he aims to swiftly conclude the fight. All his strength concentrated into a single fist. This is the golden moment for a counterattack. Kim Yun Seong leans aside, dodging the punch, then delivers a powerful strike to his opponent's face. The sight leaves all the students in disbelief. At this moment, Kim Yun Seong exerts the force of both his legs, pinning Shin Young-min's shoulder, his hands entwined around his arms, beginning to pull with all his might. The sound of bones snapping and the echoes of anguished screams reverberate throughout the school. The onlooking students feel frozen, a chill running down their spines at the sight of Kim Yun Seong. Like a demon rising from the depths of hell, he has displayed his power before all the students. Kim Yun Seong and his close friend Kim Thatch-vu have brutally taken down the bully. Yet, within Kim Thatch-vu, a deep concern for Kim Yun Seong surges. Witnessing him break Shin Young-min's arm, Kim Yun Seong softly states, "Not to worry, although many are witnessing, no one dares to intervene, for this world shows no mercy to the weak." At that moment, the homeroom teacher quietly walks past them, cursing Kim Yun Seong 1,000 times in his heart. This guy is utterly insane, causing such a massive commotion outside. Who would dare to discipline him? Yet now, he can only turn a blind eye and obediently assist Kim Yun Seong. Neither the Myeongjin group nor the principal is something he can mock. Therefore, the homeroom teacher warns with an authoritative tone. First and foremost, your arm was broken by your own doing. It has nothing to do with Kim Yun Seong. If anyone dares to drag Kim Yun Seong into this, all the dark secrets you've committed will be exposed. Do you understand my meaning? Shin Young-min angrily retorts. How can a teacher act like this? What you should be concerned about right now is the health of your students. Isn't it? The homeroom teacher snaps back with a chilling tone. Back then, when I closed one eye not to look at you, did you forget that I am also a teacher? Whether in the past or present, I have not changed, so it's best you heed my words. You must know, I am a man of my word. The local gold team leader, Tai-ku, is facing punishment. He pleads for one more chance from above, vowing that he will succeed this time. Even if you stab him in the stomach with a knife. The intermediary insists. Do you not understand the basic rules of this world? We must employ the most common schoolyard violence to fulfill the client's request, completely concealing their identity, and then complete the task flawlessly. This is precisely our working style in the realm of gold. If you expose the secrets of this world, can you bear the consequences? It seems Kim Yun Seong is not to be underestimated, but in the end, he is merely a frog sitting at the bottom of a well. A week later, just after Shin Young-min was discharged from the hospital, he received a news. Kim Yun Seong stated, as long as you reveal the true identity of the client, I will agree to let you participate until here. Shin Young-min never expected that this guy was still enraged. However, Jeong Tae-kwan simply sent a message announcing the termination of the commission. The smile had vanished. If you want to punish me, then do it quickly, so I don't have to live in dread day by day. Both individuals, no matter who they were, left Shin Young-min feeling utterly shaken. Upon returning home, he found the room in disarray. Like a battlefield, as soon as his father saw him, he charged at him, striking relentlessly. Didn't I tell you not to mess with that Kim Yun Seong? Now we're doomed. It's all your fault, even if you're a scoundrel. There must be limits. You've destroyed everything I painstakingly built. Shin Young-min felt the rising tide of fear within him. He could not believe that things had escalated to this point. How could a mere student ruin his entire family? Just then, his phone rang. The caller was Kim Yun Seong. In less than a moment, Shin Young-myung knelt down, pleading for forgiveness. I shouldn't have accepted the kiss of the golden circle. I overestimated myself. Although I desperately want to tell you who I am, the truth is I am just an ordinary person, knowing nothing at all. Please, this time let me off. Let me be your junior. Mr. Kim replied, his tone icy. Why should I forgive you? I warned you not to touch those around me, but you still let your subordinates act. If you make a mistake, you must face the consequences. Furthermore, I believe you truly do not know the identity of the client. The golden circle cannot disclose crucial information to someone as ordinary as you. However, seeing you in such a pitiful state, I will give you a chance. From now on, if you can survive for a month and show me your sincerity, perhaps I will forgive you. But Kim Yun Seong did not clarify what awaited him ahead. All of this must be experienced by him firsthand. The next day, his classmates mocked Shin Young-myung. After such humiliation, how dare you come to school? Look at his state, calling himself the boss. But when Shin Young-myung glanced at them, all fell silent in fear. If what Mr. Kim says is true, then I can still endure for a month. A month later, I shall return, teach them a lesson, and reclaim my honor. At this moment, he realizes that a notoriously cowardly figure is staring at him intently. Truly, it is a tiger fallen to the plains, being bullied by dogs. Even Han Myung-hoon, a fool, dares to look me in the eye. Shin Young-myung struggles to restrain himself, to endure, yet Han Myung-hoon boldly approaches him, pouring milk all over his head. Just as Shin Young-myung is about to explode with anger, Han Myung-hoon declares, "Do you know Mr. Kim? He told us we could treat you like this. How does it feel, huh?" Kim Yun Seong has sparked a great revolution against school bullying. Shin Young-myung, who once arrogantly proclaimed himself the boss, is now being bullied by a notoriously cowardly person. However, Kim Yun Seong did not force him. It was all voluntary on Han Myung-hoon's part. A few days ago, Kim Yun Seong compiled the list of atrocities that Shin Young-myung has inflicted upon his classmates over the years. If I had never dared to stand up to him, I surely would not be here today. Therefore, from now on, I shall be the one to execute justice. In the coming month, no matter how much you bully Shin Young-myung, he will only know how to endure, of course. I do not force you to participate, feel free to join if you wish. But if no one dares to stand up, then Shin Young Myung will have to. Remember that leaving school safely is not always easy. The victims who have endured his bullying will forever carry the psychological scars from their painful experiences. In this world, no one can fight for you but yourself. These words wash over Han Myung-hoon like a tidal wave, sweeping away every emotion within. Just because of a fleeting glance at Shin Young Myung, he has become the target of bullying. In school, he is treated as a mere toy for others' amusement. Han Myung-hoon constantly tells himself that the day will come when he is free. But suddenly, a question arises within him. After graduation, will Shin Young Myung still remember me? Will he feel any guilt? Even for a brief moment? The answer is painfully clear: no. To fill the void in his shattered heart, Han Myung-hoon decides to take matters into his own hands. He begins to believe in Kim Yun Seong's words, that Shin Young Myung truly does not dare to resist. What would it feel like for someone like me to beat him? A wave of exhilaration washes over him. Then, he spits into Shin Young Myung's bowl. Do you remember the ways you treated me back in the day? What did you say? And me, I can never forget a scoundrel like you. Shen Yanming has begun his revenge. Some have mimicked his tone, seeking to teach him a lesson, while others lurk behind bathroom doors, throwing powder at him. These tricks he had used on countless victims before. As he stepped out of the restroom, a bottle flew straight at him. His former classmates, whom he had bullied, had banded together to surround him. His voice now resembled the squeaks of a rat in the street. No one felt pity for him. He yearned to annihilate them all. Yet the mere thought of Kim Yun Seong's terrifying gaze sent a chill coursing through his entire being. Endure just a little longer. Only one more month of patience is required, until the day Kim Yun Seong releases him. At this moment, Kim Yun Seong is seeking out the mastermind behind it all. Currently, only 4 individuals remain under suspicion. But he still could not determine exactly who it was. He reminded himself not to rush. Now was the time to focus on the immediate goal. Those who tormented him, along with the teachers who pretended not to see, were all the same in Kim Yun Seong's eyes. Yet, thanks to them, the next phase of his plan would unfold. Shen Yanming swiftly received a message. The content urged him to obey and take action, promising he would no longer be bullied. It felt as though he grasped a lifeline, and he immediately agreed. Yet Kim Yun Seong mocked him, saying, "Did you really dare to agree?" That night, Shen Yanming stood before the entrance of a convenience store. After wrestling with his thoughts for a while, he donned a hat and mask. The store clerk was none other than Park Myung-chul, the one who had once tormented Kim Yun Seong. Upon entering, Shen Yanming said nothing. He immediately grabbed Park Myung-chul by the hair and slammed his head onto the table. Park Myung-chul, startled, exclaimed, "Are you trying to rob me?" Shen Yanming ignored him and landed another punch. Now, Park Myung-chul recognized this face as all too familiar. Even with the mask, those eyes and that hair were unmistakable. It was Shen Yanming. Besides Park Myung-chul, the other 2 were also brutally beaten. They couldn't understand why Shen Yanming had targeted them. One of them attempted to call the police, but Park Myung-chul stopped him. "This guy is a lunatic. If we provoke him, we're in deep trouble. Let's just consider this bad luck. If we encounter him again, don't let him know we recognize him." At that moment, a familiar voice echoed nearby. A small group gathered. "I'm sure you all know. It was me who acted yesterday, right?" Park Myung-chul asked. "Why did you do that?" "We meant you no harm. Because I am in Kim Yun Seong's grasp. Just give me 1 month, and I will make you all experience the depths of hell. He will agree to spare me. So do you understand what this means?" Shen Yanming charged toward them. "I apologize, everyone, but if you don't descend into hell, it will be my turn to escape Kim Yun Seong's control." Destiny lay within his hands. Shen Yanming was determined to send Park Myung-chul's group down to hell in his stead. As he fought, he declared, "Don't blame me, it's all of your own making." One member of the group retorted, "Why should we be blamed?" That question ignited a fury in Yanming, threatening to erupt. "Do you not see where you have gone wrong? If you had dealt with him that day, how could I have been bullied like this? And now, you dare to resist me? Have you forgotten who I am? I am the eldest brother in this school. If I cannot live in peace, do not expect safety for yourselves." As Yanming's resolute gaze pierced through the air, Park Myung-chul felt a surge of rage within. He seized a knife and lunged from behind. "You are going too far. We had to drop out just to survive because of you. Why do you still want to pursue us?" Shen Yanming suddenly realized Kim Yun Seong's scheme. He wished to see them destroy each other while remaining untouched. The next morning, news of Shen Yanming's stabbing spread throughout the school. What puzzled his peers was that the assailant was none other than Park Myung-chul. Both sides willingly took blame and requested immediate detention. They asserted that they no longer wished to remain in this place. However, Kim Yun Seong had no intentions of forgiving them. Coldly, he spoke to the heir of the Chao Ting group. When these four are released, let them back in immediately. I do not want them to have any chance to live a single normal day in this society. Go Chong-bin could not believe that Kim Yun Seong was even more terrifying than himself. I certainly do not want to be your enemy. But I have followed your orders and worked downstairs for an entire month. Why is there still no outcome? I cannot wait any longer. I want to conquer step by step from the ground up. Kim Yun Seong advised him to be patient a while longer. As long as you follow my guidance. In truth, while Kim Yun Seong was still comatose, the real estate industry had experienced a glorious period. Unfortunately, a construction project by the Chao Ting Group faced a calamity when an object fell from above. A worker was struck dead on the spot. Those around wanted to call for help but were halted by the contractor. He did not want this incident to delay the construction progress. Thus, he decided to report to the higher-ups first before taking further action. It was only 2 hours later that the worker was taken to the hospital. By the time his son arrived, his father had departed forever. Meanwhile, the real estate company was unwilling to address the labor accident and offered no compensation. This raised serious public suspicion regarding the Chao Ting Group. At this moment, Go Chong-bin wandered across the construction site, still unaware that he was about to face the most significant turning point of his life. He yearned to visit the bar for rendezvous. Yet Kim Yun Seong made him aware that every affair has its own reasoning. Watching Kim Yun Seong lead the thugs into the shadows, he unknowingly began to envision the fate of his younger brother, Go Chong-bong, possibly ending up just as tragic. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed from outside. Go Chong-bin rushed out in haste. It turned out to be a collapse during the concrete pouring. The commander reported that at least 5 or 6 people were buried inside. Yet he reassured, "You need not worry, I will immediately contact headquarters to manage the situation." Go Chong-bin grasped him tightly. "Don't you understand the current situation?" Shock surged within him. For Kim Yun Seong had warned that in the face of a major incident below ground, one must never prioritize immediate gains. Put the workers in distress first. Go Chong-bin commanded him to call an ambulance. But the commander retorted, "Doing so will leak information. If we delay construction, who will take responsibility for those losses?" Go Chong-bin spoke with authority. "I will take complete control of the situation now. Call all the rescue teams immediately. Prioritize saving those who are buried. I will shoulder all responsibilities." Go Chong-bin was resolute in following Kim Yun Seong's orders, placing the lives of the workers above all else. When he questioned the cause of the accident, a worker in a white helmet spoke up to explain. It turned out that the construction team had hastily removed the scaffolding before the concrete had a chance to set. The steel surface bore no concrete, leading to the catastrophic collapse. Had the drying process been properly executed, surely things would not have reached this point. Go Chong-bin asked, "Why are you sharing this with me?" The worker replied, "I simply want to know if you value lives. Are you willing to take on this responsibility?" Go Chong-bin's response took him by surprise. What could be more important than human lives? Regardless of what happens to this building, the first and foremost task right now is to save people. You have time to discuss this. But please call the rescue team. Thanks to timely rescue efforts, most workers escaped danger. However, the company assistant was fraught with anxiety. As many media outlets had reported negatively on the incident, the corporation had no way to stop the information from spreading. Go Chong-bin calmly inquired, "So what should we do now?" The assistant replied in disbelief. "Did you not have a plan before deciding to save lives?" "What plan?" "I simply did not want the workers to be in danger. So I alerted the rescue team." Shortly thereafter, his father called him. The assistant wondered why he did not answer. Go Chong-bin responded, "You need not worry." When his father finally stopped calling, Go Chong-bin immediately asked Kim Yun Seong what the next step should be. Upon returning home, his younger brother Go Chong-bong began to berate him. "Why did you act on your own without reporting to your superiors? The life is precious. You've jeopardized the company's progress. Don't you realize the extent of the losses your actions might cause? If our project fails to sell later, will you dare to take responsibility?" His father said, "Since you reported to the police for rescue." The reporters immediately caught wind of the situation. "So, how do you plan to handle this incident?" Earlier, Kim Yun Seong had told him that his father placed great importance on project quality. But this time, a safety incident had occurred. "How do you think you will react?" he will certainly face every issue calmly and seek a resolution. Therefore, you must inherit his spirit. In light of this situation, Go Chong-bin made a shocking decision. We will demolish the entire structure and start afresh. His father sternly shouted, "Do you think the bank will lend us money for construction without interest? Interest rates are rising daily. Coupled with the investments already made, we, as real estate developers, always prioritize profit. Are you certain this is necessary?" Go Chong-bin knew this would incur serious losses. But for us, reputation was paramount. Recently, the media had been relentlessly reporting on subpar constructions. Although real estate companies might be profiting, their reputations were being ruthlessly criticized. In this context, if we only repair the collapsed sections, it would undoubtedly be unsellable. Go Chong-bong seized the opportunity to mock. "Isn't this your doing? Yet?" Such an approach would still incur fewer losses than starting over. Go Chong-bin asserted, "You're mistaken. Right now, we cannot only think about financial losses. But now, we need to build high-quality projects to restore public trust. We've only had one building collapse, so we must take responsibility promptly and show everyone our commitment to quality. One day, our reputation will be restored. This will become a solid foundation for the future growth of our corporation." Go Chong-bin couldn't help but chuckle. "Are you an idealist? Our business pursues profit, not ideals." But his father comforted him. "Finally, my son has opened his heart after this shock. What angers me the most is not that you failed to prevent the leak of information, but that we made a grave mistake in the most fundamental tasks. These foolish errors only tarnish our reputation. Housing is a sanctuary for humanity. The most crucial issue, of course, is safety. Assistant, this time you have excelled. I once thought you were useless. Yet now you are increasingly resembling me. I hope you will continue to maintain this steadiness, so I can entrust my legacy to you without worry." Upon hearing these words, younger brother Go Chong-bin could hardly contain his anger, nearly gritting his teeth. After that, Go Chong-bin sought out Kim Yun Seong for help. Although his father urged him to stay strong, he had no idea what to do next. Kim Yun Seong told him, "First, you need to address the victims of this incident. The first group is those who have purchased homes. You must commit to covering the interest on loans incurred due to the delayed handover. Along with offering discounts on the projects, their complaints will quickly dissipate. The second group consists of the workers injured in the accident. You need to show them sincerity. Resolve the pressing issues they face in their lives. You need to make them feel that being a worker at Myeongjin Corporation is a source of pride." Therefore, Go Chong-bin allocated a significant compensation for them. Kim promised to assign important tasks to the workers once they recovered, which brought tears of overwhelming emotion to the families of the laborers. Through this event, Go Chong-bin learned many valuable lessons. He said to his assistant, "In the past, I merely viewed the company as a tool for making money. I only thought about completing the houses and selling them quickly. But now I realize there are many who have sacrificed everything for this work. Those who wish to support their families with their own hands. And those who have spent their entire lives saving to buy the homes we build. I had underestimated my position far too much. I only wished to eat well and drink well each day. From now on, I cannot live as I did before." The assistant was surprised to see the young master change so much, creating a sense of unfamiliarity within him. Suddenly, someone shouted loudly, "Are you still smoking here? Put it out immediately." Go Chong-bin instantly reverted to his true nature. "All the emotions I just built are being destroyed by you. Get lost, or I will smash this entire hospital to pieces." Under Kim Yun Seong's guidance, Go Chong-bin not only earned praise from his father but also won the admiration of the workers. He, once so arrogant, now felt slightly out of place, especially when receiving special gifts from the workers' families. Although Go Chong-bin complained, this feeling truly unsettled him. Yet, when eating, he clearly found the food more delicious than before. At that moment, an underling rushed in to inform him that there were guests outside looking for him. They said it was a television interview. The headquarters has also agreed, Go Chong-bin said, then lead them in for filming. However, the workers informed him that they were there to interview him. This took Go Chong-bin by surprise. Had he done something wrong? It turned out that not long ago, a young man named Go Trung-hak had approached the television station. His father, a construction worker, had suffered an accident and became permanently disabled. The way the real estate company handled the accident filled him with tremendous anger. Typically, after an accident, the first thing to do is to call for help. But the person in charge insisted that a report must be made to higher authorities first. As a result, his father had to wait 2 long hours before being taken to the hospital. And the hospital he was transported to was not the nearest one to the accident site. but a hospital an hour away by car. Ultimately, this decision led to his father's lifelong disability. Even more despicable was the fact that they had never compensated him a single penny. The real estate company made such a ruthless decision merely to avoid delaying construction and to finish early. To them, workers were nothing more than expendable resources. Go Trung-hak was determined not to let anyone else suffer the same tragic fate as his father. With courage, he stood before the camera, affirming his own voice. Currently, he was working at the construction site, a place where a tragic accident had recently occurred. However, the way the real estate company handled this situation was entirely different from what his father had endured. The person Go Trung-hak was referring to was Go Chong-bin. This was precisely why the television station sought him out for an interview. Meanwhile, Go Chong-bin's father was intently watching the news on TV. The decision to reconstruct the building by Myeongjin Group shocked everyone. This action only exacerbated the company's losses, but it clearly demonstrated Myeongjin Group's determination to pursue quality in real estate. Next came the footage of the interview with Go Chong-bin. I heard you asserted that human life is more important than anything, especially compared to material losses. Not only that, but you also recognized that the company must take responsibility for this accident and called for a complete reconstruction. Why did you make such a bold decision? Go Chong-bin calmly replied. I am merely following what my father taught me. Since childhood, my father taught us that what we do is not only to earn money but also to protect our family's legacy for a lifetime. Suddenly, a call from Go Chong-bin's father rang out. The caller praised him, saying he had raised his son excellently, and suggested introducing his daughter to Go Chong-bin. Immediately, a matchmaker called as well, hoping to arrange a date between Go Chong-bin and the daughter of a judge and prosecutor, of course. His father refused, as previously, when he had initiated contact. The other party had clearly declined. He then spoke to his secretary. From this moment on, there is no need to forward calls from the matchmaking intermediaries anymore. Please request the secretary to update their current status. The secretary reported that numerous companies and entities are eager to sign contracts with us. So far, there have been several significant orders. Among them are several office buildings for the S Group, 3,000 housing units for the redevelopment of the Jeongnan area, and a newly constructed site in Bagjeong. Moreover, the Maritime Bureau has also reached out, hoping to finalize the contract for a 5,000 unit residential project that was previously negotiated as soon as possible. They also hope to announce the construction schedule before next year. This is the explosive opportunity we have long awaited. Not long after, Go Chong-bin received the shocking news that the chairman would appoint him as the CEO of Myeongjin Group. All eyes turned to him with flattery. Go Chong-bin felt as though he had stepped into a dream. Previously, these people had looked at him with disdain. Moreover, they were all under the command of his younger brother. His father had instructed him to participate in the cooperative project with Kim Hai this time. Though it may be a bit early, on this journey, we will uncover many intriguing things. Go Chong-bin lowered his head, his voice warm. I hope to receive support from everyone. Before long, Kim Yun Seong also heard the news and felt a rising confusion, as everything was unfolding rapidly beyond his expectations. Go Chong-bin's involvement in the project was supposed to occur in the future. According to the original plan, he would establish his position within Myeongjin Group after this incident. Yet unexpectedly, Chairman Sao Min-tan personally supported him. Kim Yun Seong could not have anticipated this situation. At present, he needed to be more astute in predicting potential variables that could arise in the future. He could not afford any mistakes. A luxurious car suddenly glided into the campus. Kim Yun Seong recognized it as Go Chong-bin's vehicle. Why had he come to the school at this time? The message did not mention this at all. Go Chong-bin walked straight into the principal's office. I am here to thank you for always taking care of my family during this time. Principal Kim Yun Seong feigned humility. I am merely doing what a teacher ought to do. Go Chong-bin firmly stated. I still wish to express my gratitude. There is a saying that etiquette should be reciprocal. So I would like to offer you a gift. A proposal to build a new sports facility for the school, along with a swimming pool. This is the standard for prestigious schools. He immediately praised. In the future, the entire school will spare no effort to support Mr. Kim. This time, Go Chong-bin asked, could you bring Mr. Kim's homeroom teacher here? After Go Chong-bin successfully became the CEO of Myeongjin Group, the trust in Kim Yun Seong reached its zenith. Naturally, with the benefits he had received, he had to give back in return. Thus, Go Chong-bin personally visited the principal to show his care for Kim Yun Seong. to contribute to a new sports facility and invite Kim Yun Seong's homeroom teacher. The public punishment he imposed was due to the actions of a friend, causing everyone in the school to gossip that he had accepted a bribe. Go Chong-bin said, "You need not concern yourself with the rumors. Once you choose to stand by me, I will ensure your ascent within this institution. I've heard you enjoy going to bars for leisure after work? I am familiar with the largest bar in the city. Bring your friends along, I'll cover all the expenses. Furthermore, I have prepared for you a barrel full of vitamin drinks, overflowing with riches. Don't forget to take some home with you. From now on, remember that behind you stands not just affluent parents, but the entirety of Kin Hai, the most powerful heir of Myeongjin Group." After arranging everything, Go Chong-bin and Kim Yun Seong faced each other, their hearts brimming with gratitude. "If you wish for me to become the chairman, it means you will undoubtedly need my power in the future. Then, let us strive together, supporting one another in times of difficulty. If you need anything, you need only speak candidly to me. No matter the matter, I will wholeheartedly assist you in resolving it." Mr. Kim asked without hesitation, "So how much can you allocate for me?" Soon after, the homeroom teacher announced stunning news. Zhongsheng Group had invested a colossal sum into the school. Consequently, the school decided to allocate 10 million for scholarships, exclusively for students who attentively listened to the lectures. All the students buzzed with anticipation upon hearing the figure of 10 million. However, when the homeroom teacher revealed that the first recipient of the scholarship was Mr. Kim, their expressions immediately darkened. Who didn't know that the eldest son of Zhongsheng Group was Kim Yun Seong? He was Mr. Kim's guardian, and directly awarding the scholarship to him was no challenge at all. What further charade was needed? Particularly, the homeroom teacher also disclosed that the second recipient of the scholarship was Kim Thach Nguyen. The classmates began to feel something was amiss. Even though Kim Yun Seong had the backing of Zhongsheng Group, he had secured first place in the midterm exam. What distinguished Kim Thach Nguyen? Why did he also have the chance to receive a scholarship? Was it merely because he was a friend of Kim Yun Seong? Soon after, the classmates began to speculate about the relationship between Kim Yun Seong and Zhongsheng Group. Some even conjectured that perhaps he was the illegitimate child of the chairman. In the very next moment, the one who had spoken those words turned pale, hastily turning to flee. It was none other than Kim Yun Seong, waiting for them at the corner of the hallway. Every word fell upon his ears like a chilling whisper.